Link.
Nintendo has truly hit it out of the park with this one. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, while following the same formula as the previous game, has proved that you can make a perfect game even better. The game feels jam-packed with so much new content that even though we are in the same map as before, there are just so many more creative things we can do than the previous title. So let's go ahead and go over why you should try out this game today. Also, minor spoilers ahead. Alright, let's get to it. As y'all may know, this game takes place directly after the events of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Who would have thought? Not me.
We start the game off as Link and Zelda exploring the underground cave beneath Hyrule, where none other than Ganondorf is waiting, imprisoned by a magical arm. The magic of the arm conveniently runs out, and Ganondorf shows off his full power to Link and Zelda, destroying the Master Sword and nearly fatally wounding Link in the process. Link fails to save Zelda as she falls down a chasm, disappearing in a shine of light. Link then wakes up in the Sky Island with one of the most overpowered arms in existence. Just like in the previous title, Link is stuck up here until he unlocks all of his new abilities. And boy, holy crap, these abilities are so much better than Breath of the Wild. First off, we have Ultra Hand. This ability is almost similar to Magnesis in Breath of the Wild. However, we can now attach objects together, which just allows us to do so much more in this game. It's so crazy. Like, take these problems from the tutorial as an example. You don't have enough stamina to reach the other side of this body of water. We could build a little rafts and use this Zonai technology to push us to the other side. Or we can attach items together and build a really long bridge. Need to climb up a mountain, but it's too slippery? Use a stack of wood to make a pole we can climb on. Or later on, we can catapult ourselves with Zonai tech. Oh, look at this, a little Korok child. He needs to get across this gap. Let's just help Korok children. You've probably seen them before, with the internet treating them with, let's just say, with a burning hatred. The funny thing is, this more than shows how amazing Ultra Hand truly is. The possibilities are endless, and I'm excited to see what others can come up with. Next, we have Ascend. This ability basically lets us no-clip through walls, allowing us to skip some climbing if the situation lets us. This also allows Nintendo to come up with some clever routes to take in caves. The thing I love most is that it allows Nintendo to not worry about making caves that Link can climb out of. Instead, we can just leave whenever we want, just by ascending upwards. It also allows us to do, this. It makes me laugh every single time. We move on to our next ability, Fuse. This allows us to fuse items onto our weapons or shields. The super crazy thing about this is, basically everything you find can be fused onto your weapon or shield. Fuse a rock to your stick to make a makeshift mace. Fuse a shield onto your shield. A pole onto your pole to make it even longer. Turn the game into Tony Hawk Pro Skater by fusing a minecart onto your shield. We can also fuse things onto our arrows while we ready them. No longer do we have to collect fire, ice, or even electric arrows. Just fuse a fruit of the corresponding elements onto your arrow and let it go. There are so many neat details with the fuse ability. I love it. For example, the game tells you straight up that fusing things onto your shield makes you no longer able to shield surf on it. However, like I've said before, this does not include minecarts. You figure this out by experimenting with the fuse combinations. It also works if you fuse a shield onto a shield. One of the coolest things you can do is fuse a bomb onto your shield. No, I'm not joking. If you take a shield that has a bomb on it, you can do this. Here's a neat hidden detail you may find out. Are the snowy mountains too cold? Is the heat of the desert cooking you? Just fuse a ruby or a sapphire onto your shield or weapon. While wielding it, you'll see that Link will cool off or heat up depending on which one you have equipped. There are so many more hidden details I can go over when it comes to the fuse ability. I encourage you to experiment with all the different items that you find. Now let's move on to the most broken ability for solving puzzles, Recall. This ability is simple. It rewinds time for an object, bringing it back towards a location it was previously. Is an enemy throwing a bomb at you? Just recall it back at them and see it blow up in their face. You use this mainly for easy access to the floating islands. There are these rocks that fall from the sky that you can use the recall ability to be thrown up with them. Alright, you want to cheese the game, don't you? Don't feel like solving the puzzles presented to you as Nintendo intended it, huh? Well, that's why we have the recall ability. We could solve many problems with this ability. Check this out. Want to get up this platform that we can't climb up to? The game wants us to build an object that will help us up there. Or we could just pick up this object, raise it to our goal, put it back down in front of us, and just recall it. Bam! We solved the puzzle just by using recall. Seriously though, this ability is so useful when you utilize it. It's much more simple than the Ultra Hand ability, but man, it can break the game a whole lot more. Last but not least, we have Auto Build. I'm not going to tell you exactly how you unlock this ability, as it's the only one that's unlocked outside of the tutorial. But what it basically does is allow us to save different builds that we have created with the Ultra Hand ability. It also allows Nintendo to give us schematics that they have created to help us build things easier, like this hot air balloon. Everything you fuse together goes into a small history tab. We can choose to save these for later use. You've probably already seen some crazy builds that people have created online. With this ability, they are able to recreate those builds instantly with Zonite, or by having the built materials placed in the world. Here's another useful tip for you. Don't like to go out and collect items individually, like apples or fish that you have, ethically collected? Just use the auto build ability to grab them all for you so you can have them all in a nice pile. Now I know what you may be thinking. Alright Phoebe, this is just Breath of the Wild with new abilities, sky islands and caves. Is that all it has to offer? Well... Yeah, this area is huge, by the way. Literally the size of the entire map. The feeling I had jumping down one of these holes for the first time, seeing how massive this area was, it felt like that moment in Elden Ring. You go into this random elevator, you stand there awkwardly as it takes a while for it to descend, and what you see is a huge open area, blowing you away as you thought it would just be some random small cave. What blows my mind is the fact that Nintendo never talked about this. It was definitely a huge surprise for me. While I won't go into much detail, the story of this game is amazing, and I love seeing what they have done to Ganondorf, now that he's finally decided to drink some water and rehydrate himself. This was probably the only Zelda game that has brought a tear to my eye. Haha, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, I get it. Definitely love the changes that they've made to Purah. She is 100% waifu material now. While this game is amazing, there are also some critiques I have. One of the main critiques a buddy of mine had while watching my stream. By the way, check out the live stream, twitch.tv/Phoebe_O. Would love to see you hang out. Also, send some Korok children smashing into the like and subscribe button. Anyways, the game is open world, so there's a lot of emptiness to it. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to do, but getting from one area to another will take some time. Honestly, what's really fun about this and Breath of the Wild, as you head over to your destination, you get distracted by so many things that you sometimes forget what your main objective even was. Speaking of Korok children, they're back, and I still don't like them. Well, I don't like that to 100% the game, you have to collect 1,000 Korok seeds. No, I'm not joking. 1,000 Korok seeds. So get used to hearing them over and over and over again. Also, when turning in the seeds to expand your inventory, you have to watch this cutscene over and over and over again. I wish they had the option to expand multiple slots at the same time. The game's story is similar to Breath of the Wild, meaning it's very disjointed. Something that we sadly have to accept if we want a truly open world experience that these games have to offer. It's kind of annoying though when everyone's like, "Whoa, what? Zelda disappeared? But she was just over there!" Alright, let's give 10 more helpful advice before we go. Number 1, fuse a rocket onto your shield so you can fly up. Number 2, you can tell where these amber lights are going to be according to where the shrines are on the surface. Number 3, This also works the opposite way if you're looking for shrines. Number 4. Puff shrooms are overpowered and can let you sneak attack almost any enemy. Number 5. You can use magic wands by using sapphires, rubies, etc. Number 6. Fusing items to an arrow while using a multi-shot bow will only use one item, even though you are shooting 3 of them. Number 7. Always fuse things to your weapon before using them. It makes them a lot stronger. You're better off doing this than saving your monster parts. Number 8. Not only can you use recall to break puzzles, but bomb jumping with your shields as well. Number 9. Horses are just faster to travel with than Zonai machines. Number 10. We still have cooking in the game. Do not underestimate how powerful it can make you. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a fantastic game. The best Zelda game I've ever played, and one that I will always hold dearly in my heart. I highly recommend you try this game out if you haven't already. Once again, thank you for tuning in this long. I'm improving on my videos and I hope you enjoy what I create. Please stay tuned for more. Hit that like and subscribe button and follow me on my Twitch channel. Love you all, and I'll see you later. See ya!